Good, my Rags and Fitness people, my Rags and Fitness folks, my Rags and Fitness fam. It is your man Rags back off up in this thing. And when I tell you I'm up in it, I'm talking about I'm knee deep all the way off up in it. Guys, my Roll Tide family, hey, my whole college football family, everybody out there in the whole wide world, do me one favor, keep God first, man. Make him the main thing and make that main thing the main thing, man. And for all of my Crimson Tide football fans, can I please get a Roll Tide roll, baby? It is your man Rags back off up in this thing with some of the latest news, man. I know you ain't seen me in a few days, man, but I've been dropping some trivia. Guys, please make sure you contribute. Make sure you go and look at the Alabama Crimson Tide trivia that old Rags is putting up. I'm just trying to test your knowledge and see what do you know. See if you can remember these faces that played with the Alabama Crimson Tide, guys. So, guys, what we are here for, with no further ado, old Rags is going to be here talking about some old news, which could be some new news, right? We're going to be talking about offensive lineman, Mr. Kadyn Proctor, right? The former Alabama offensive tackle, left tackle, that is, right? He had a few woes while playing at the University of Alabama, right? But at the end, he kind of straightened it up a little bit, right? But I have a question to ask you guys, right? And I asked you after I get to the gist of this video. So the gist of this video is this. I read this article, right, on The Athletic, right? The Athletic is this site over the internet, right? And they kind of dish out, little rumors and stuff like that that's going on, right? But The Athletic, this article right here reads, Kadyn Proctor expected to leave Iowa and re-enter the transfer portal, per sources, right? So there's some sources out there saying, hey, man, this guy may not be too happy at Iowa. He's wanting to come back to Alabama. And before I read this, I will say this. If this guy comes back to Alabama, it's to open up a lot of doors for a lot of other guys to come right back, right? Come on, man. When you leave, you find out the grass ain't green on the other side, baby. So let's read a little bit of this article right here. This comes from Iowa City, Iowa, right? By Scott Document, right? He wrote this approximately about an hour ago, right? It says here, the idea of Iowa native Kadyn Proctor. Let me get this up on the screen for you so you can see it even better. The idea of Iowa native Kadyn Proctor playing football for the University of Iowa was stronger than the reality. Five-star offensive tackle who joined the Hawkeyes often, I'm sorry about that, joined the Hawkeyes after one season at Alabama is expected to lead the Iowa program. Multiple sources briefed on Proctor's intentions told The Athletic. Iowa opened spring football practice on Wednesday. Proctor, who went on spring break last week with several former Alabama teammates, is likely to return to Tuscaloosa. Those same sources said. So he went on spring break with a couple of those Tiders, right? And he said, oh, man, let me move this real quick. He said, oh, man, I want that old thing. That old thing started to come back. He get that feeling again, man. And when you get that feeling again, sometimes you want to just indulge. So let's go back. Let me bring it back up here, right? As a non-graduate, Proctor can not enter the transfer portal until April 15th, which gives him time to perhaps change his mind. He is still listed as Iowa's official 2024 roster. He is eligible to play at either Alabama or Iowa this fall. Proctor, 6'7", 360 pounds, was raised in Pleasant Hill, Iowa, a southeast suburb of Des Moines, right? He grew up an Iowa fan and idolized Tristan Wirfs, who was an All-American tackle at Iowa. Proctor even wore number 74, like Wirfs, however you say that guy's last name, and won consecutive state championships at Southeast Polk High School. In 2022, Proctor was committed to Iowa from June 20th through December the 19th. One day before signing day, Proctor then flipped to Alabama, where he started 14 games as a true freshman left tackle in 2023 after Alabama coach Nick Saban retired in January. Within a few days, Proctor identified Iowa as his most desired destination through a social media campaign. The Iowa Swarm Collective quickly raised more than $100,000 in 2 days. Independent of Proctor's intention, Proctor attended a men's basketball game in Iowa City later that week and was enrolled in classes quickly afterward. It's home. I love home, Proctor said. Now I'm gonna stop right there, guys. We're gonna come back to old rags. Let's get back to the main thing. Hey man, I want to stop this video right now because I don't want to make this video long. We see here that it's a chance, right? And where there's smoke, there's fire, right? This guy, Big Proctor, big 6'7" Proctor, 360 pounds, left tackle last year. We all talk trash about him at times. We all did it. When he's letting guys, but hey, the question that I want to ask you guys earlier, right? All of my Alabama Crimson Tide football fans, right? The fanatics out there. Would you welcome this guy back in with open arms? Would you give him that warm embrace? How would you feel about this guy coming back to the capstone, right? Now, let's say this. I've been watching Miles McVay practice, right? And he's getting his stuff together. I think this guy right here is going to have to really, if he decides he's going to come back to Alabama, first of all, he's going to have to lose some of that weight, 360 pounds. We know that Kadyn DeBoer, Coach Cap, they want a smaller type offensive lineman. But this guy's got the talent to do it, is that if he could put it all together. He was just a true freshman last year, right? We can get this guy and get some work done to him. I don't know what job he's done out there at Iowa. I don't know if he's just been sitting out, not really doing too much, if he's actually been practicing. What has he been doing, right? Have he been putting in any type of work? But we know that our guys been going to work. So if you're going to come back here, you got to go to work, baby. So how would you guys feel about Mr. Proctor coming back? Would you open him? Would you open up the doors, the gates, and say, hey, come on back in? And is there any more players that you would be willing to have, that you would be willing to open up arms and say, hey, come on in? Because I believe a lot of these guys realize once they leave, the grass is not greener on the other side. But it's the pride that keeps them away, right? It's the pride. This guy came out to Alabama and he loved it, right? So that's all I want to say on this subject, guys. I'm not going to make this video real long. I just want to ask you guys, man. I seen this article and I'm saying, hey, man, what are we thinking right now? What are we thinking as a collective, man? Uh, okay, so you ask Rags, what did he think, right? I say the more the merrier. I say, man, welcome this guy back in with open arms, man. Sometimes we leave. Sometimes we make mistakes. We're not perfect, man. So this guy made a mistake. He realized it. He went out with a few of his teammates. He said, man, I got to get back home. He said, I thought Iowa was home. I came back here and I realized that Tuscaloosa in the state of Alabama is where I belong. I got a soul tribe out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is where I need to be. I need to be sitting beside Mr. Booker. That's where I'm going to learn. I need to have Coach Cap coaching me up. I want to be a part of this new dynasty that we're building out here. I want to beat up on some Tigers. I want to slap around some Bulldogs. I want to do it. I want to do it good. I want to win another SEC championship. I need to get back to the playoffs and show these guys that we truly belong here. I want to run this offense that Mr. Kadyn DeBoer is going to put in place, and he's going to be successful all the way around. And guess what? He's going to leave room for me to be successful. So I say this, guys. Let's open up our arms and embrace this young man if he wants to come back. Now, let me say this. It's not written in stone that he's going to come back. They just say, sources say that it's a chance this guy is really going to be thinking about coming back to Alabama. So we don't know yet. We're going to know what's going on. I just want to know what's your opinion on it, guys. I done made this video too long. I wasn't planning on making it this long. But, guys, look into my eyes. And when I tell you I got to get up out of here, man, I got to be gone. So with all that being said, I know you love looking at me. But I'm out of here already. Yeah.